This is the whole reason that I'm promoting beekeeping, is this ability for us to interact with the bees and to learn from the bees. So it doesn't matter if you're a welder or a politician or a banker or a teacher, you can be a beekeeper, and the bees can teach you a lesson. And that lesson will be the cooperation and the coexistence that they do to survive and to thrive. And in the process, you build a dialogue with these bees by observing their patterns, becoming a pattern recognitionist, and then attempting to augment those patterns to help the hive. So you become a worker for the hive as well. So by changing the ventilation, you're kind of saying, hey, can I help you guys do a better job keeping cool? And they'll let you know. They'll respond by thriving. What's beautiful about being a beekeeper is this notion that when you get it right, you've had a conversation with 30,000 bees, and they've said thank you. And the idea of this design is that we have a cradle in the middle that is an inner cavity, and then inside of that cavity we build an inside chamber. And in that inner chamber is where the bees live, until such time as they grow and fill the entire place up. A bee colony is a superorganism. So a bee colony doesn't act as sole individuals. The bee colony acts all for one, but the heart of the colony is the queen, and the most important member of the caste system is the queen. Sometimes when people see me walking by, they'll say, that looks like a casket. And I said, well, if we stay on this trend, it might be. But if we can actually turn this thing around, it could be a cradle for the new civilization. The whole idea of the cradle brings the bees closer to you. The boxes, it's like putting bees in a city, and they're in a high-rise, and there's population density, and with population density becomes compression, and with compression becomes propensities to get angered more easily. It also is harder to move greater population densities around. So when you interact with bees in a box hive, you kill several of them every time. Now, because it's a superorganism, bees themselves are like skin cells, and if I scratch my skin and a few cells fall on the ground, the body Charlie's still alive, but the skin cells have died. As long as the heart lives, the body will thrive as long as it works itself. So you can lose a few bees here and there, but why do that if you can help it? And so what's nice about this is usually when we're working the bees, if we kill one, it's a big deal because we notice it. There are times when the hive is so big you can't help but damage a couple. But for the most part, when you're interacting with the bees, you can see them, and your interaction is so up close and personal that you're finding the care. It's very spiritual. It's very meditational. It's very fundamental to soothing or calming yourself. In fact, it's one of the things that I like to talk about before you go out with the bees. You know, get a sounding bowl, get a toning bowl, and just ring it, put your mind into a different place, let the worries of the day go away, so that you can interact with this amazing superorganism and talk to it.